Hello, this is xsinick and welcome to Blender Basics. Today on Blender Basics, we're gonna learn how to make simple characters using a few simple tools in Blender. Okay, let's go. Okay, so you started Blender and you want to make a character like right off the bat. So the first thing we do is that normally you start Blender with a default cube. So let's use it, right? Instead of deleting it, let's use the default cube. So first you're gonna press the tab key. If you don't have the tab key, you could go up here. You could choose from object mode. You could change that from object mode. Come down here over to edit mode, and edit mode is going to get you into the edit viewport. Also, you could press the 1 key or the 2 key or the 3 key to go into edit mode on your keyboard, or like me, you press tab. If nothing on your cube is selected, you just have to press A once. Or you could go up into select all, and you could select all your vertices. That's what we want, and we want to be in vertex mode. That's this mode right here. So make sure you're in edit and vertex mode, and you'll be able to select all the points right there. Now that you have that selected, press M on your keyboard, or for me it's Alt M, and I'm going to collapse at center. So what happened there? It looked like everything disappeared, but what it did, it took all the vertices and it collapsed them and merged them to the center point. And right now you have a point that you can't see because most likely your your 3D cursor and your origin is probably blocking it. But if we press G on our keyboard and move it around, you'll see that you actually have a point, a single point existing from the cube. Press escape to put it back where it was. And we're going to start making our character, right? Another thing that you need is to switch over to the tweak tool. You could find the tweak tool right here to your left of your viewport, here on in your tool panel, right here where it says selection box. Just click on that. Once you hold your mouse button down, right, a menu will pop up and it's called tweak. You just have to select that, and all of a sudden you're in the tweak tool. The tweak tool is a very powerful tool. It's like one of the first tools that stuck with Blender, and I'm so glad they kept it. And all we got to do now is just extrude a single line. So press E to extrude and just move your line, just move up because you're in the tweak tool, right? So now we wanna make like a stick man. So you have your mirror on, we have our stick guy looking good. This is your first character in Blender, guys. So we need another thing, right? So to make this powerful, we need the skin modifier. So we're gonna come over here to the add modifier. We're gonna add another modifier. You're gonna go generate, and you're gonna look for skin. Go up to the top here, right, and turn on this thing here. This is kind of like an X-ray mode, so click on that, and all of a sudden you can see the mesh will become slightly transparent, and you could see the points again and your lines or whatever. So what you need to do is just press A for all, and then press Control A, and it will bring you into a scale mode just for these points. And just bring your mouse in scale, and all of a sudden you see your stickman starts to kind of get a skin. So I'll scale it where it's kind of relatively like that. Because we have the skin modifier on now, we're going to select different points and scale them up. So we're going to click on just one point, press Control A again. Control A is the skin. It's the scale, sorry, scale the skin. So we're gonna do that. That's his chest. Let's select 2 of these points. The scale is midsection. Maybe the 3 points. 1, 2, 3. And press Control A. Oh, let's just do these 2. Control A. Okay. Let's select these let's select these points here on the end here. Control A. Okay, notice when you scale, certain things happen. Okay, I want to select these top parts here. I'm selecting these 3 top parts. And press Control A. So you just got to work with it till you get what you want. I'm going to select his head and his neck. Control A. You could add, after skin modifier, you could add like a subdivision surface modifier, which is under generate. Let's go back into wireframe. Let's go into smoothed. Alright, and you can adjust different parts here. Now I notice like this point here is like making this cut off, and I think like you just have to adjust it. So I'm just gonna pull it back just a little bit. If you see a little anomaly, just try shifting the point around and stuff like that, and you should clear up any kind of weird surface issues. I wonder if I get rid of that point. Let's see. So to get rid of that point, you just have to press Control X and it will collapse it. Yeah. So I got rid of that extra point there. That's fine. And everything seems to work. So I selected the point and pressed Control X to dissolve it. So just being able to merge points, add points, collapse points is a good thing to know. And you see all the keyboard shortcuts right here for everything that I'm doing, and I'll try to make sure and let you guys know. So okay, so I think so this let's we could, like, I want to scale this part here. Control A, scale that part in, or you can scale it out, scale it in a little bit. There's only so far you could go before you start breaking stuff. So let's do the forehead. Bring that in a bit. Okay, let's go back out into X-ray mode and take a look. I think our guy looks pretty alright to to do whatever it is we want to do with him. So this is for a human, right? And I'll show you how to do an animal. So remember the extra piece that we made. So I'm gonna hide this guy. So we have this single point here. Let's put X-ray mode on, select the cube. We have this point. So you could do the same thing with an animal. And how do you do an animal? Right, let's see. Let's do a 4-legged animal. So I have this point here. I'm just gonna extrude it this way. And just take your time, and extrude it that way. And let's select this point, and right here in the modifier to your right, there's something called mark root. So I'm going to select that point and click mark root to bring this red circle thing back in the middle here, because that's the center point. So this is going to be let's make an animal here real quick. So like so, and then like so. I'm just going to go simple, and you want to stay simple, guys. Don't try not to go too too complex too fast. Okay, let's subdivide the tail to make the tail a little cooler. So I'll show you guys a little trick here. So let's subdivide it a couple times. Something like so. I'm just gonna grab this, just curl the tail a bit. And say like we want the tail to progressively get thinner like that. There's a tool, there's a mode here in Blender called proportional editing. It's very powerful. It's right up here. It looks like this little dot is inside of a ring. Select that. And what that does is it tells it that you're gonna tell Blender that I'm gonna scale or move this thing and I want it to affect the vertices around it. So I'm pressing A here and Control A, and you see it makes a big ring around it, so it's gonna affect everything. So if I move it, it will affect everything. That's the radius is too much. You just have to scroll your mouse wheel, make it a little smaller, and it will just affect just these things right here. I'm just gonna make that a little skinnier, like so, and there you go. And you can use proportional editing also while you move meshes around. It will affect not just that one vertex, it will affect the other things around it. So I'm gonna select these 2 points. I'm gonna add like an extra point in the middle here. I'm gonna arch the back a bit, you know. I'm gonna bring this part down, and you know this would be a good point here where you'll probably want to look up reference. I'm gonna subdivide the middle part here. Look at this animal. He's pretty cool, you know, and we're able to color the fur and do other very cool things. But that's not for this tutorial. We'll save it for another tutorial, guys. When we get to that point, I'll try to do something a lot more detailed, and so that you have a feel that what this process could actually yield, you know, really high quality and even cinema quality characters, right? And characters for games and so on and so forth. All right, guys, I'll see you later. This is xsinick for Blender Basics, simple creatures, yeah. And don't forget, you know, I also stream on Twitch. I also have a Discord that you could look in the About section here on YouTube. And you could join our Discord. You could check me out on Twitch. And of course, you know, we got tons of music, right? Like, hey, check out the music. xsinick, which is the yellow bear. She has a ton of music. Well, it's under her moniker. It's actually me, guys. So you know, it's a mixture of different techniques to make that music. But anyways, I'll see you guys later. God bless, and yeah, stay creating in Blender. Have fun. Bye bye.